Get ready to improve your mindset, increase your skill set, and expand your network. Follow along as the CEO of Master Networks brings you over a decade of business networking experience. Welcome to Word of Mouth with Chaz Wilson. Summer Series featuring the Master Networks HQ staff. Today's guest is our videographer, Tyler Wynn. Today we have our most recent hire, Tyler, with us on the podcast. What's it feel like to be on this side of the camera?
So good. So good.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting.
Tyler, was that like super?
You seem so
really
static
convincing,
right now.
really convincing, yeah.
So Tyler's one of our videographers and editors, and that's why we're like, hey, what's it feel like to be on this side of the camera? Because normally you are behind the camera, running around doing stuff, getting great shots, and following us around. Yeah. So tell us about your journey to Master Networks.
Like, you want how far back? Like from the womb?
First grade all the way to...
No, I got into it when I was in high school. I just started like watching YouTube videos all the time. It's like, this is something I really want to do. And so I pirated Premiere onto my computer.
Well, we won't tell anybody. Just those, everybody watching.
I was about to say,
I pirated Premiere so I could teach myself how to edit.
We should have known this in the interview. I'm just going to say, like, I should know this.
I'm pretty sure I told Josie.
Oh, you might have.
I'm pretty sure I told Josie.
That was the reason she hired you, so.
That's right.
But yeah.
So you've known for a while you want to do video.
Right.
And then you did that in college?
Yeah, and then I went to school for it, but unfortunately that school closed, and so I kind of had to learn. I kind of had to just pick myself up by the bootstraps and just jump into it and put a portfolio together that employers would be happy with. Yeah. And then I got my first job in Southern Utah, and then quit that job and moved back home just to figure some stuff out and applied for you guys.
Here, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember.
That's where I am.
Wasn't that long ago?
It was not that long ago.
3 months.
Yeah. I mean,
3 months ago.
Yeah, you've been doing some great stuff here with us, and a lot of it, you follow us around. You take a lot of, like, there's, I don't know, you tell me the technical terms because I don't know, but, like, there's, cameras on a tripod that take, still shots, and there's a lot that you do that's following us around and documenting stuff that, which do you prefer to do?
I mean, like having the camera off sticks is like you can be a lot more creative with it. You can get angles that aren't right here at this level. So that's what I would love to do more, like just running around with the camera, shooting stuff. I mean, obviously there are times when you need the tripod, right? But yeah.
So where does the two worlds overlap between videography and a company and business? Yeah,
like business marketing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, where we come from, where it's a way more creative medium, right? And business doesn't tend to be as there's
it's like a lot more kind
structured.
Of disjointed.
Exactly. And so basically we just have to come in and where the struggle in narrative filmmaking is coming up with that idea, like what story do we want to tell? Right. It's the business already has the story, like it already has what we need, like, and then from whatever idea it is, whether it's Master Networks and your mastery program and the membership and things like that. Crap, I lost my train of thought.
But you're trying to tell the story.
I lost my train of thought.
But you're trying to tell the story.
We're trying to tell. We from there we get to tell that story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where instead, again, narrative filmmaking, you have to create the story. You have to create everything from scratch. Where here we have a basis. How do we tell this story in a way that benefits the company, that gets in a good light, that people are going to turn around and say, I want to be a part of that.
And how important is the story in the business marketing and the business journey?
I mean, super important.
Yeah.
Like stories are how we communicate with each other.
Right.
It's like how we get our message across,
right.
Like who we are. This is us. And so if you need to be able to tell the story in a way that captivates your audience, and then where they look back and say, I want a piece of that. Like I want to be a part of whatever that is, whether it's you're selling a Coca-Cola bottle. Yeah. Like I want to taste that Coke. That looks delicious. Right. Or if it's, I want to be a part of that master chapter meeting or the chapter meetings.
Right.
But yeah. So, how do you, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. How do you balance the creative aspect of it with the branding guidelines that the company already has in place?
I guess just following the branding guidelines. The branding guidelines make it easier.
Yeah.
Like it makes it, gives it, again,
it's like
it gives
framework
you
to
that, exactly that it gives you that foundation, like where you can work from that, and you can say, okay, they want this, this, and this. how do I tell the story in a really creative and fun way that still follows these rules that they've, set for me.
I'm curious, when you when you watch other videos or you watch movies or TV and stuff, are you watching it or are you watching it for the shots and the things?
I love this question.
That is a great question.
I love this question because thank heaven I've been able to, I can turn my brain off and turn that off and I can just sit down, pop up, bag of popcorn and just enjoy a movie. Whereas sometimes I'll be like, okay, what did I like about that? I mean, I still feel like
scrutinizing every
shot. Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't like that they did this, or I really love that they did this. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, when I go back and talk about a film, even if I did turn my brain off, I'm like, wait, I didn't like that.
It's like in your subconscious now.
It's there now.
Do you find yourself learning from those when you see movies and you have an opinion about it? Do you learn from it that way, or is it just more of like, no, I didn't like what they did there?
Like, do you ever see a shot and you're like, oh,
exactly,
I love that. I can
exactly.
do that.
Oh, 100%. Let me think of one that I go to Interstellar all the time. In the climax of that film where there's this shot of the space station.
Yes.
She knows.
That's
she knows the
movie.
one.
Oh, is it?
That's your favorite movie?
That's my
She just
favorite
said
movie.
It's her
Okay.
favorite movie.
I have one.
And it's just like this shot of the space station spinning. It's going out of control. And what's his name? What's the guy's name in that movie?
Can't think of the character's name.
I don't know.
What's his name? Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
Matthew
I was trying to
McConaughey's
think of
trying to dock.
name.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey's trying to dock the ship on this spinning space station, and there's just this shot of the station in space just spinning, and the light from this sun hitting it. So it's like, it just.
Cooper, there's no point using her fuel to
Analyze the endurance of spin.
But something a videographer would absolutely love,
Right.
Because that's what you see when
Just
you're watching.
visually,
Yeah.
it's and the moment in the film, like it's just this big climactic moment.
Yeah.
It's the part of the final scenes of the film, and it just.
See, I'm like that too, but it's more like when I go to a restaurant, I go out to eat, and I notice how many employees are working versus how many patrons are in the restaurant. And I'm like, okay, they have like a 3-to-1 ratio. They have too many. Their staff, they're gonna overpay on payroll versus. I know, it's just how I roll. I just
Right.
I
well, it's
can't help
that
it.
business mind.
It's the business
It's
mind.
the business.
So that's why I
mind.
was curious if in the you're
100%.
watching a movie, right?
100%. I think that's true of any profession. Like
It's hard
as you're in that state of mind, like that's what you're going to be thinking about. Yeah. And so you need people who have certain states of mind to be at the helm of certain projects or certain departments, right?
Yeah.
So
And not everyone can afford that up front. Like, I mean, we obviously didn't. We contracted a videographer pretty early. I will say that was something we looked at. I mean, even in the first year of business, I was like, okay, even if we can only contract him for certain amounts of time, Levi was great. We contracted him in, brought him in on a fair amount to shoot video for us as much as we could, because there's a key, and this is what I want to kind of get to, is how important is documenting the journey of a business, like from the day one. Like, you use some of our shots back from
from 2011, from your first days in Master Networks.
So how important is it for a business owner who's listening today to document that, even if it's not a paid professional videographer?
I think it's really cool to do that. Like, I think that there is a ton of value in it, just like, again, for the storytelling aspect. Like, you get to see your story unfold, and if you document it, like, look at the impact that you can, create. I think more importantly, it's about putting your brand in front of enough people, from a video, and if that is in documenting your journey, and if that's a really good way, which I think with the culture you guys have created, it does really work. Like, being able to say, I was just a guy standing in front of a camera. Talking about
and it was.
That's exactly what you were,
it's
right?
Embarrassing to watch.
It's not it's awesome, frankly. Like, that's why I put it in the video. I didn't put it in there because, look at this. I put it in the video because, like, look at that.
A little bit of that too.
Yeah,
like, look at this moment. This is just a guy standing in front of a whiteboard.
Yep.
And now look at where we are.
Right.
Now, how many members do you guys have now? Like,
right. Yeah, I just want those listening to think about that as they start their business, because I think the conversations we have in our head is, I can't do it myself. I can't afford to hire somebody. Who would listen to my story anyway? Who cares about my story? And that's, you don't know what the future is going to hold. I mean, you think about some of these big brands and these big companies who've exploded, right? and it's the Michael Dell building Dell computers out of his dorm room, right? Like, where are those photos? I'd love to see them. Like, where's the video that showed that, right? Like, there's those kinds of things that you just never know. Yeah, you may never be Dell computers, but the story's so captivating. If not, this is the thing we did. If it wasn't for anyone else other than my own, like, posterity, that was the reason enough. Like, I wanted them at some point to go, here's the company we built. Here's the story of it.
Right.
But yet it's impacted lots of people. I just don't want people to miss. Your story's important. Capture it.
Oh, 100%. It always is.
Capture it. So kind of that idea of storytelling, right? This idea of, we don't put our kids to bed and tell them bedtime facts. We tell them bedtime stories.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we should start.
No, my kids.
There are probably some people who deserve the bedtime facts.
facts.
Over the
Accountants are
story.
like, let me tell you about the last tax return I just did and how you can deduct this from your gross revenues. And, like,
Those people are awesome to have at parties. For
Yeah.
one. Like,
that's something you should capture on
I
video.
always invite them over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question. In this video storytelling, do you prefer shooting video or editing?
Shooting, the cinematography, it's like the front lines. You're there. This is it. Yeah. Everything that you capture here is everything that's going to be used. Of course you cut stuff out, right? But like, this is it. And being able to create an image and like compose it and just something beautiful, there's just no other.
Like
no, 100. Like, it's just, I love it. Like, when we rented that lens for Connect, I loved shooting on that lens.
I remember how
You
excited
could
you
show
were.
it
Like,
off. Yeah, you were
you're
so
like,
excited.
Here, come here, come look
guys,
at this.
guys, look at
See
this.
this.
And it's just this lens. Like,
I was like, it looks pretty cool.
You were showing me a shot across the room. I don't know if you remember that. When you first had the lens on, it was like you could zoom in and like.
well, you couldn't zoom.
Or you could have it blurry behind.
Right.
Or whatever, like,
The
I don't know. No
depth of
technical.
field. No, keep going.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So
That's what Tyler's here for.
yeah, and he was like, "Look how awesome this is." I'm like, "Yeah, that's." I mean, it was cool, but like, that's what I loved is knowing that a lens. You were that excited about a lens means you're in the right seat doing the
Yes.
right thing. No, I mean, it's true. Like,
Right.
again, I get excited about a business where I see things, rocking and rolling, and you're like, this is what I'm excited about. And that's how you know someone's on the right seat because they're excited about something like that.
Right.
We need a drone, though.
Do we?
Oh, yeah.
Do we need a
I
drone?
want some
Because
drone.
then one of us is gonna have to fly it.
I could learn to fly the drone. Elizabeth could fly the drone.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
I
would
did
be so
fly a
down for
Mavic.
that.
I did fly a
Corey
Mavic
could-
at my
Corey
old
could
job.
fly the drone.
He wants to fly.
Corey
a
would-
Wants to
drone.
fly drone.
You
But
wouldn't
don't
even
you
have
think
to
that'd
ask
be cool
him.
to have some drone shots?
I mean, a few.
I could
I don't
be
know.
a
I feel
drone
like
operator.
nowadays
That'd
drone
be
shots are
dope.
so overused.
Oh, I
like,
still think it'd be cool. But
You just have to be creative with how you use it.
right.
You can't be basic.
Creativity.
it's very powerful what you talked about today. And I also want to think about, like, those who are listening today, what's one tip you have for a business owner that what they can do with video?
Hire somebody who knows what they're doing.
I agree. So I can't afford to hire somebody. What should I do?
I guess learn how to do it. I honestly think it's super important to have video. Like, it's how and with how easy it is and cheap it is nowadays to shoot stuff. I mean, you could go get a cheaper end camera and still get quality work.
Yeah.
Like, go out and produce some marketing materials for your YouTube channel, whatever it is, Facebook. Like, start getting stuff in front of people.
I mean, even the quality of cameras on phones nowadays is crazy.
Yeah.
No kidding. Well, Christopher Nolan directed that commercial for iPhone.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that looked amazing.
Yeah, and it was shot on an iPhone, right?
Shot on an iPhone.
Crazy. Yeah. Tyler, good stuff. I really appreciate the thoughts about storytelling. I mean, it's powerful for a business owner because I think they forget their story. They forget that that's what drives the brand is the story behind it.
Yep.
And video allows you to capture the story in a way that people can really feel a part of it. I mean, there's people that I'll go do an event and they're like, I feel like I know you. The only reason they feel like they know me is because of video, right? They feel like they've connected with me prior to that. So great stuff. I know Katie has a question for us today.
What annoys you the most about summer?
About summer?
Is that all of us? Do we
I
all
was
go
going to say
around?
about someone.
I mean, we could do that too.
What annoys me the most about summer?
I got mine already.
Okay, go.
I got the heat. the heat. And I just moved here from Utah,
It's gonna be hot.
and humid.
Yeah.
The humidity is what's gonna kill
Well, it's
me.
definitely more humid this year than normal. Like with all
Oh,
the rain
great!
we've had.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want it to
Thank
be
you.
just. I want to walk. Yeah, I want to walk out the door and feel like I just stepped into the bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to
that so bad.
swim in the air.
Yeah. What's your?
Everything. No, I'm just
Everything.
kidding. No, it would definitely be the heat. Heat and humidity.
That's
I can't.
Yeah, it's heat. I think I just don't like being out and it's like 10 o'clock and I feel like I've sweated through like walking to my car.
Well, I already sweat
Oh,
when I
no,
walk
no,
in
no,
my
no.
car.
Mosquitoes aren't bad here. Oh, no. I lived in the land of 10,000 lakes. If you think mosquitoes are bad in Texas, go spend a summer night in Minnesota.
No,
He
thank
just
you.
one-upped you. He just
You
one-upped-
can't sit outside. In Minnesota, you physically can't sit outside. You will get eaten alive. And I have been here and I've sat outside and not been bit once by a mosquito.
Yeah, now that I think of it, I haven't been bit by a mosquito for a while. Granted, I don't.
Because
go
you're
you're
outside
just
very
sweet.
often,